Now, second topic of second topic of MSc first year physical chemistry. We have to start with change of state, fundamentals of physical chemistry. First, CHP 1110 contains second topic change of state. We have to start this second topic change of state. Now, in this topic, we have to start the first one is the partial molar properties. Partial molar properties or partial molar quantities. Partial molar properties or partial molar quantities. Now, we know the thermodynamic extensive properties. Extensive properties, which means the properties whose value depends on the amount of substance present. Such properties are called as extensive properties. For example, I have told you the example of extensive and intensive properties initially. So, extensive properties, when we add, suppose that mass is an extensive property. Mass is an extensive property. Suppose that we have measured first 1 kg. It has particular magnitude. If we add again 100 gram, then this property, the mass changes when we add some another quantity. If we add again another 100 gram, then the mass changes. So the property which changes according to the addition of substance, amount of substance, then that property is called as extensive property, such as mass, volume. Volume is also extensive property, because if we have taken 1 liter water, then volume of 1 liter water has particular quantity. But when we add another 500 ml or another 1 liter water in that, the quantity will become 2 ml. Volume changes. Volume changes from 1 liter to 2 liter, 2 liter to 3 liter. Okay, so volume changes. That means this property changes according to the amount of substance present. If we change the amount of substance, the property changes. Such properties are called as extensive property, and we have studied already these extensive properties, thermodynamic extensive properties. When these thermodynamic extensive properties, such as, which are thermodynamic extensive properties, such as internal energy, free energy, work function, entropy, enthalpy, heat content, so there are so many thermodynamic extensive properties. These thermodynamic extensive properties are depend on state variables, state of a system. Okay, these properties are depends on state of a system. Suppose that in general we have considered the property X. These thermodynamic extensive properties indicated by symbol X. When these properties X is a function of state variables. Which are state variables? These are temperature. It is a function of temperature, function of pressure, function of number of moles, N1, N2, N3, number of moles of constituent present. Okay, so thermodynamic extensive property, we consider it as X is a function of temperature, pressure, and number of moles, N1, N2, N3. These are the number of moles. So if this property X is depends on these functions, means it depends on temperature, it depends on pressure, it depends on N1, depends on N2, the amount of constituent present in the mixture. So if this property is dependent on these variables, then when we change the temperature, when we change the pressure, when we change the number of moles, then there should be change in this property X. Okay, so let's see. When we change temperature, pressure, and number of moles, then the change in property X is indicated by symbol dx. We say it total differential also. Okay, so we can say it total differential. So this total differential is this quantity X. When we change these properties, the change can be calculated by this format. So dx, see, I am writing the equation here. So changing property x with respect to this first quantity, with respect to delta T, by keeping other quantities constant. So I have kept pressure constant, N1 constant, N2 constant, N3 constant, all number of moles I kept constant here. So this first plus, now it's second time I change this property with respect to second quantity delta P, with respect to dt, delta x by delta P at constant, keeping temperature constant, N1 constant, N2 constant, N3 constant, Ni constant with respect to dt. Okay. Similarly we can write, we change this property delta x with respect to, now this another quantity delta N1 at constant temperature, constant pressure, not constant N1 but constant N2, constant N3, constant Ni into dN1. Similarly plus in the same manner we can write the variation of this property x, this extensive property x with respect to all the constituent by keeping all other constituent constant, temperature, pressure, N1, N3, Ni. In the similar way we can continue this equation up to the number of moles, number of constituent present by keeping all other constituent constant, in which this quantity that is delta x partial N1 at constant temperature, pressure, N2, N3, etc. This quantity is called as partial derivative. Partial derivative of quantity x, when 1 mole of, when N1 mole of substance added, when N1 mole of substance added. So this is called as partial molar property. Partial molar property when the change in quantity x with respect to change in constituent N1. When we change N1 or we add the number of moles of this constituent, then there will be change in this property, and it is represented by this equation delta x by delta N1 at constant temperature, pressure, and other moles of other number of moles. So this property is called as partial molar property or partial derivative. Okay, partial derivative, it is indicated by symbols such as this one is represented for x, then property x represented by x bar. So x bar is what? It is the partial molar property delta x by delta N1 at constant temperature, pressure, N2, N3. In this way we can write. Okay, I am repeating once again. Look here, partial molar properties. Okay, or it may be say partial molar quantities. Now, we know thermodynamic extensive properties such as internal energy, free energy, work function, entropy, enthalpy, heat content. All these are extensive properties. These extensive properties are dependent on state variables. So these are the variables, state variables, temperature, pressure, the number of moles of constituent. So these properties, the thermodynamic extensive property, we represented generally as x is a function of temperature, pressure, and number of moles of constituent present. So x is a function of all these quantities. And when we change these quantities, when we change temperature, change pressure, or change number of moles of constituent, then the property x changes, and the change in property x can be represented in this way: dx, total differential. So dx is the summation of the first quantity here, delta x, change in quantity x with respect to change in temperature by keeping pressure constant and number of moles constant, into dt, plus second, change in quantity x with respect to p by keeping temperature constant and number of moles constant. Here change in quantity x plus change in quantity x with respect to dn1 means first constituent, change in quantity of x with respect to first constituent by keeping temperature constant, pressure constant and other number of moles constant, n2, n3, ni constant, dn1. In the similar way we can write delta x, change in quantity x with respect to second constituent dn2, delta n2 at constant temperature, pressure, n1 kept constant, n3 kept constant but not n2, ni kept constant, into d and 2. So we can write for number of moles in the similar way, and summation of all these partial derivatives gives the total differential or total this quantity we can obtain the total amount by this total differential, and it can be obtained in this way. So if we modify this equation, the quantity delta x upon delta n1 is called partial derivative or partial molar quantity of when we add the first constituent, n1 moles of substance will be added. So how can we define partial molar quantity? Partial molar quantity is the change in extensive property on account of addition of number of moles of constituent by keeping all other constituent constant. So this is partial molar property. And when we modify this equation at constant temperature and pressure, when we kept pressure constant, temperature constant, then when temperature is constant, dt change is 0, when pressure is constant, dp is equal to 0. So this quantity dt is 0, this dp is 0. So we can write equation. So dx is equal to delta x upon delta n1 into temperature constant, pressure constant, n2, n3, etc. into dn1 plus delta x upon delta n1, delta n2 at constant temperature, pressure, n1, n3, etc. into dn2. In the similar way, we can write for number of moles plus change in quantity x with respect to change in ith component by keeping temperature, pressure constant, n1, n2, n3, other number of moles kept constant except ni into dni. So this equation, and in general these equation represent partial molar quantities. Okay, partial molar quantity which is represented by x bar, which is represented by symbol x bar. So x bar we have represented here. So this equation can be written in this way: dx equal to this total quantity represented by x bar dn1 for quantity first plus x bar to dn2 plus x bar 3 dn3. So in this way we can write it for number of moles. So partial molar quantity from this total differential can be obtained. So total differential in this way we obtain. So this is the first quantity. Now integrating this equation, we obtain the total quantity x. Integrating this equation, the total quantity x we obtain. So x dx, integration of this x, and here x1 n1 plus x1 bar n1 plus x2 bar n2 plus x3 bar n3. In this way we can continue for number of moles. xi bar ni, xi bar ni. When we differentiate it again, then we obtain dx equal to n1 dx1 plus x1 bar dn1. So here derivative of 1 keeping other constant. Here derivative of 1. We have kept n1 constant and taken derivative of this. Again plus we have kept this constant and taken derivative of this. So in the similar way, n2 dx2 bar plus x2 bar dn2 plus, similar way we can write li dxi bar plus xi bar dni. So in this way we can write for any component, any constituent, we can write this equation. So if we separate the variables here, so dx equal to n1 dx1 bar plus n2 dx2 bar plus n3 dx3 bar. So we can write it for number of constituent plus the second variable x1 bar dn1 plus x2 bar dn2 plus x3 bar dn3 plus, we can continue for number of moles also. You can continue it for number of constituent. So in this equation we have separated these variables. In this equation we have separated these variables, and these variables when separated, and when we kept number of moles constant. Number of moles constant means n1 constant, n2 constant, n3 constant. Then these dn1, dn2, dn3 becomes 0. So this total quantity becomes 0 where we kept number of moles constant. So at constant composition, when composition kept constant, then we can write dx equal to n1 dx1 bar plus n2 dx2 bar plus n3 dx3 bar plus ni dxi bar. So number of moles, when we add one by one component, then it can be written in this way. So dx in general can be written in this way: summation from I to infinity number of components. We can write ni dxi bar, ni dxi bar. So number of constituent when kept constant at constant composition, constant temperature and pressure, we can write this partial molar property in this way. So this equation represents partial molar property, and different partial molar property or different thermodynamic extensive properties can be written in this form. So see the examples of different partial molar properties. So partial molar properties in this equation: partial molar free energy, when we change partial molar work function partial